You normally don't hear me talking about penny stocks a lot on my channel, and there's a reason for that. Penny stocks are extremely volatile, which means that they're extremely risky to trade or even to hold. But there's always an exception to the rule. The stock that I'm about to talk to you about today is definitely an exception. This is not a recommendation to buy. I am not a financial advisor. I'm simply telling you about a stock that I hold very dear to my heart and I own quite a bit of shares of. I'm going to be telling you about a penny stock that I feel has a tremendous amount of potential. It's only trading at around $1.60 right now. That's incredibly cheap. This stock is going to explode, and you can mark my words. I've done all the DD for you, so all I need you to do is sit back, relax, watch, and listen. Because in this video, I'll be telling you exactly what this stock is, what the company does, and why it's going to explode. And after you watch this video, I think you'll know exactly why. And we're going to be starting right now. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If you're new here and you want to learn how to use stocks and options to make your portfolio go parabolic, make sure you start now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss an upload. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about a stock that's going to explode. We're talking about a millionaire maker stock because it's a penny stock. It's dirt cheap. You can load up and then watch your portfolio explode. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started, I want to ask a favor of you. Please go ahead and smash that like button for me, because it helps to support this channel. I put a lot of time and effort into each video so that we could all make money from the market together. And if you're not part of the family yet, I want you to join my family. We're growing fast, both as a community and financially by the day. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to tap that bell so you have access to videos as soon as they come out. So the stock that I'm talking about today, or the penny stock, is CHEK, or CHEK. Ticker symbol CHEK. So this is the first and only patient-friendly, preparation-free test to detect polyps before they may transform into cancer. So the company developed a device that is known as the C-scan system, which as of now is an investigational device in the United States, but the system has been approved in the EU and Israel. As of now, the company's currently not selling the C-scan system in any jurisdiction, but that will be coming soon. So if you haven't figured it out yet, we are talking about a device that is used in the screening for colorectal cancer. If you don't know what a colonoscopy is, then you may not fully understand, or should I say appreciate, this company and exactly why this system is such a big deal. So I'm going to very briefly describe the process, and then we'll take a look at what the C-scan system does. And after seeing the difference between the two, I believe that you're going to appreciate this company very much. You're going to appreciate the product very much, and you're definitely going to see this as an investment opportunity. We're also going to be looking at, or talking about, the only real competitor that this company has. But first things first, so what is a colonoscopy and what all does a colonoscopy involve? So first of all, a colonoscopy, or colonoscopies, are used to check for hidden colon cancer. And just the prep for one of these bad boys alone is a major inconvenience for most. Okay, well, pretty much for all people, unless you're just weird. But it'll take you about 16 hours to get ready for this procedure, and generally it takes about 3 hours to complete the procedure. And I think that most of you will agree with me that this will not be a fun day at the medical center, even if you enjoy having people stick things up your butt. And I can assure you of that. And if you don't believe me, then let's talk a little bit about the prep for just a second. So it starts with a purgative part. This involves you taking a powerful bowel clearing substance, which in turn will lead to uncontrollable diarrhea. And this is because emptying the contents of the colon is a key requirement for a successful colonoscopy. If the bowel prep isn't up to par, polyps and lesions can be missed, and the colonoscopy may take longer, which increases the risk of complications, or the whole process may need to be repeated or rescheduled, meaning another round of bowel prep, which, by the way, you do not want to do. Now, different medical centers recommend different ways to prepare the bowel for a colonoscopy, and there are basically two parts to this. There's the diet and drinking bowel cleaning liquids. So here are some of the main strategies. A few days before the colonoscopy procedure, you start eating a low-fiber diet, which means no whole grains, nuts, seeds, dried fruit, or raw fruits or vegetables. The day before the colonoscopy procedure, don't eat solid foods, and instead you're going to consume only clear liquids like clear broth or bouillon and black coffee or tea. Now, clear juice such as apple or white grape is also ideal, and clear soft drinks or sports drinks. You can also have Jell-O and popsicles, things of that nature. And the day of the colonoscopy procedure, as on the previous day, you're going to also be allowed clear liquid foods only, and you're not going to eat or drink anything 2 hours before the procedure. And that pretty much sums up your colonoscopy prep diet. Next, we're going to discuss the bowel prep for colonoscopy. So the afternoon or evening before the colonoscopy, you're going to drink a liquid that will trigger bowel clearing diarrhea. But just keep in mind that the exact colonoscopy prep instructions are going to depend on what your doctor actually prefers, and also the time of your colonoscopy is also going to affect things. So look, I didn't mean to stress you out, and I know that this sounds pretty bad, but don't worry, it gets a lot worse. So I had a very good friend of mine, my best friend, that actually went through nursing school and did all of this for a living. And from the way that he describes things, and I know that I may get some details wrong or off, but if I do and you know what you're talking about or you've got experience with this, please correct me in the comments below. But to the best of my ability, as best as I can recall, what happens afterwards when you are at your appointment is that they inflate your butthole using some air, and they do this so they can get the camera up in there easier, and it's gonna go very deep into your rectum. And before they do all this, they pretty much dope you up. I don't know what they give you, but they you're gonna be under the influence of some major drugs. They're going to inflate your butthole with air, and then they're gonna stick something so deep in your butt, you're going to feel it coming out of your mouth. Well, maybe I made that part up, but you know it gets pretty serious when they start sticking stuff in your butt after they air your butt up. So from there, after they're done with this procedure and sticking their cameras in your anus, they're going to take you in another room, and a nurse has to witness you farting, yes, I said farting, all of that air out, because you're not allowed to leave unless you do so. It's dangerous. So allow me to set the stage for you very quickly, if you will. You're basically going to be sitting there in front of a hot nurse chick that's hotter than the sun, and you've got to fart your ass off. You've got to fart like your life depends on it, because it does. You've got to get all that hot air out. And the part that I forgot to mention that's going to make you look like an even bigger fool, well, I don't know about a bigger fool, but it's going to make you look like a big fool. The drugs that they have you on are going to make you just berserk. You're going to be crazy. So while they're sticking stuff up your butt, you're going to be sitting there watching the procedure, high as a kite, chasing the dragon, or maybe the dragon's been already caught, I don't know, but you're going to be sitting there saying really embarrassing things. You could possibly even ask your doctor out on a date while this procedure's going on because you enjoy it so much. Who knows? I don't know, because I don't know you personally, but let me just tell you, you're going to be very, very embarrassed, or at least you would be if somebody recorded what you said and played it back to you later. So you're not even going to know the extent to which you should be embarrassed. The only thing that you're going to remember is every time you walk in to that medical center, everybody's cracking up, laughing, pointing at you and staring, and you know how that goes. So even though I don't know what you would say, personally, I can leave that up to your imagination so that you can figure it out, or think about it at least. And then you'll see very quickly why CHEK cap, or ticker symbol CHEK, CHEK, the stock, is going to be one that you will want to invest in, because I'm about to go over the difference. Now, one thing that I will say here is this. For any man that wants to, maintain their dignity, their respect, their sense of masculinity, you do not want to go through this procedure. And I don't want to go through this procedure. I've literally only got a few years before I have to start doing this regularly. So I can only hope and pray that FDA approval is right around the corner, as the last thing that I need is another pain in my ass. And if we step back and think about this logically for just one moment, if I feel this way, I'm sure that you feel this way, or at least majority of you do, at least the normal ones will. And that would also mean or indicate that a majority of all the other males that have to face this type of torture will feel the exact same way. So I feel like you can see where I'm going with this, because this is what's going to make CHEK a major moneymaker in the future. You've heard me describe the traditional way of screening for colon cancer, and although I haven't taken a poll, and I don't intend to, I think that anyone that's experienced this displeasure, or at the very least heard my description, would agree that should there be a less intrusive method of doing this, it would most certainly be preferred. So with that being said, let's take a quick look at one of CHEK's main competitors. And by the way, we're talking about a market that's projected to be worth about $30 billion, and that's just in the U.S. pan-cancer liquid biopsy market alone. So CHEK's main competition in this market is Exact Sciences, and the company trades under the ticker symbol EXAS if you're interested, and sells or trades at around $140 per share. But what's amazing is that not too long ago, just like CHEK, this also was a penny stock. Exact Sciences is a molecular diagnostics company that focuses on the early detection of prevention of colorectal cancer. The company is known for developing Cologuard, which is essentially a screening test for early detection of colorectal cancer and precancer. Here's the deal with Cologuard. Now, it's a lot better than the traditional method, I will say that, but it's for those of you who like playing with your own crap, basically with your own feces. If you're into that kind of stuff, then Cologuard is for you. So I guess I should tell you first, before we even get into talking about what Exact Sciences does, that colon cancer is the third most common cancer in the United States, with the American Cancer Society estimating that over 100,000 new cases will be diagnosed this year alone. Even if you have no symptoms or family history of colorectal cancer, that just puts you at an average risk. And doctors will typically suggest that you start screening at the age of 45, and that's an ACS recommendation, or 50 years old, which is the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force recommendation. Cologuard tests for colon cancer by identifying abnormal DNA and traces of blood in the stool that precancerous polyps and colon cancer can cause. And your doctor will need to prescribe the test for you before you're able to order a Cologuard kit. Now, you can fill out a form on Exact Sciences website, which will generate a customized order form for you that you're going to actually take into your doctor. So if you're taking the Cologuard test, here's what you can expect. So you're going to receive a kit that includes all that you need to collect a stool sample with minimal contact with your stool. The kit is going to include a bracket and collection bucket, a probe and lab tube set, a preservative solution that will preserve your sample during shipping, and a prepaid shipping label for sending the box back to the lab. Now we're talking about the box with the poop. Using a special bracket and collection bucket that comes with this kit, you have a bowel movement on the toilet that goes directly into the collection container. Great. So now I have to poop inside of a container that goes on top of my toilet. Wow. Using a plastic probe enclosed with the kit, you collect a swab sample of your bowel movement and place that in a special sterilized tube, and then you're going to pour the preservative solution, which is included, and you're going to screw the special lid on very tightly, and make sure it's very tight because you don't want to spill any of your sewage inside of the box, which will leave a stench. No doubt. Then you're going to fill out the form that asks for your personal information, and you're going to include the date and time that your sample was collected. You're going to put all collected samples and information back in the Cologuard box and ship it back to the lab within 24 hours. This may be a lot more convenient than option A, and if you don't remember what option A is, I encourage you to, rewind and listen. And this definitely, I would say for me, it would definitely be a lot better. But still, I don't want to be pooping in a container. I don't want to be pooping in anything and collecting any poop to put into any container, to pour any type of special preservative liquid on it, and then have to secure the container by screwing on the lid very tightly and putting it in a box and shipping it anywhere. I do not want to be shipping poop because I'm not in the business of poop shipping. So I think it's time that we talk about the real deal here, the real solution that makes sense, and hopefully you guys will very quickly realize that it's the only solution for you, unless you like playing with your own poop. And, if you like playing with your own feces, I think we can probably check in with your local zoo and see if they need any more, monkeys.
This capsule might seem tiny, but it has the potential to prevent one of the world's most devastating cancers. There is a critical unmet need for a non-invasive and patient-friendly screening method for the detection of precancerous polyps in the colon. Each year, nearly 881,000 deaths occur worldwide as a result of colorectal cancer, and the annual estimated economic burden of colorectal cancer care is about $14 billion in the U.S. alone. Routine screening can prevent colorectal cancer, yet in the U.S., about half of the targeted population avoids routine screening due to the required preparation and invasiveness. C-SCAN is the first and only preparation-free, capsule-based colorectal cancer screening method for the detection of precancerous polyps before they develop into invasive cancer. Screening with C-SCAN is non-invasive and does not require preparation or sedation, allowing the patient to continue their daily routine with no interruption. The C-SCAN system consists of 3 elements. C-SCAN Cap is an ingestible, single-use imaging capsule that moves through the gastrointestinal tract, utilizing the patient's natural motility. The innovative low-dose X-ray radar imaging technology can see through the gastrointestinal content and scan the unprepped colon. The C-SCAN Cap scans the inner lining of the colon in a 360-degree arc. It records imaging and motility data as it moves along the colon path. The C-SCAN track is comprised of 3 miniaturized patches, continuously tracking and recording capsule data. C-SCAN View is a PC-based workstation. The proprietary software processes data received from the C-SCAN track and constructs 2D and 3D maps of the inner surface of the colon. CHEK Cap is developing clear paths to commercialization in major markets worldwide, including the U.S., the European Union, and Israel. With a patient-friendly C-SCAN system, CHEK Cap has the potential to increase colorectal cancer screening compliance and ultimately reduce the global incidence of this highly preventable disease.
So there you have it. Pretty much, this is non-invasive. There's no preparation. it does not interrupt your schedule. There is no 16-hour prep time where you can only eat or drink certain things. There's no 3-hour procedure. You literally swallow a capsule and then you do have to poop it out, unfortunately, but that's the only way to do it. However, I think this is a lot more convenient than any of the other methods that we talked about. One of them is the traditional method. The second one is the main competition that CHEK is facing right now. I don't know about you, but I know which method seems a lot more reasonable to me, a lot more convenient. I know which method I would be going with, or which technology. So if you feel the same way, just take a look at where that price tag is. And that's at less than 10% of the market share. That's probably at about 5% market share that Exact Sciences has. But unfortunately, until CHEK gets FDA approval in the United States, it is what it is. But when CHEK does get that FDA approval, you can only imagine where the price will go. The average colonoscopy costs around $3,000. Now, of course, insurance will more than likely cover this, but just think about how much money the company will be making. And remember, I said it was a projected $30 billion market. So if they get, 5 to 10% of that, if they get 10% of that, it's going to be about a $300 stock, no doubt. Now, this will happen one day in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Keep in mind, this will take a while to really kick off. Now, as far as the stock reaching a few dollars, and by that I mean, 10xing, maybe even more than that, I don't think that will take that long. That'll probably happen sooner than later. But as of now, without any type of news out, the last news that we did get is a letter from the CEO to the shareholders, kind of updating us as to what is going on. Pretty much we found out it's going to be a little bit, maybe a couple to a few months before we get some FDA news. So this company isn't like every other hype penny stock that you see that just runs up and dumps. This stock pretty much stays consistent and pretty much trades at the same level, or has been for a while. It's had its run-ups on news, and then it kind of pulls back, and it's been consolidating for a while. So you can probably expect to just see slow and steady growth until some news comes. But mark my words, as soon as some news comes, you'll be chasing this thing if you're not in on it. So that's why, I'm loving these prices down here. I mean, it's dirt cheap, and I'm accumulating as much as I possibly can. Congrats, ladies and gentlemen. You've made it to the end of the video. If you like what you watched, make sure you subscribe, because I put out videos just like this one every single day. And please do me a favor and smash that like button if I helped you in any way, because it really goes a long way in helping the channel out and keeps me motivated to make videos every single day. Now, there's a lot of work involved, a lot of research, and a lot of time and effort into editing and putting these out daily for you guys. You can subscribe from your screen right now, or if you want to watch one of my other videos, I'm sure YouTube has some good content picked out for you on the left-hand side of your screen now. Thanks for sticking it out with me till the end, and I will see you guys in the next video.